How's it going, Sha?
Um, fine. How about you? How are you doing?
I'm good. I was actually I wanted to know how did yesterday's moon affect you? Like I'm not normally like aware of this stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
I found out it was a thing. We actually had a couple of our fans like reach out to us and let us know about it as well. So I was like, oh, this is a Shalewa thing. I wanted to make sure I should check in.
Oh, it's the moon. It's a Shalewa thing. Let me
Hey,
make sure that she's not going crazy. Well, funny you should ask. I was affected by the moon. I was weirdly out of sorts. It was if for anyone, if you didn't know, at the time that we're recording this, this is basically the day after the full moon in Scorpio, I think, and it was called a pink moon.
mm-hmm.
It's one of the first super moons of the year, which just means that the moon looks bigger than usual. I guess it's closer,
Okay.
or maybe it's gained some pandemic weight. Um, so we're all a little bit bigger than we would normally seem, I think, and that includes the moon. Um, as far as it being in Scorpio, I don't necessarily know what that means. My various horoscopes had ideas, but I don't. None of them made sense to me.
No?
So I was like, I don't know what that means. I'm not that deep. I don't. You know what I mean? I know what my sun, moon, and rising are. I know what my Venus is.
Okay.
Um, but I don't know enough about all of those various signs because the way that they introduce astrology to the masses is to concentrate on your sun sign. So that's the one everyone knows. The main one, like what's your sign, and whatever it is that you answer with, that's usually your sun sign. So that's the
Oh,
one
okay.
that I end up knowing the most about, which for me is just, I look good in gold tones. It's about all, you know, life of the party looks good in gold tones. And that's really all I can remember about my particular sign.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Scorpios. I just know that, like, when I say it, everyone always goes, "Ooh,
Oh.
yeah." Like, I don't know what that means. Like, is that good or bad?
Mm,
Yeah, I just get that response, and then I'm like,
funny.
all right. And like, I feel like I've been cut off in all of those conversations, so I never get to
Right.
engage further. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's the energy I get back.
I mean, I think Scorpios are known for being a little selfish,
Okay,
uh, and also not, I don't want to say promiscuous, but definitely uh, wild, a little chaotic, I
okay.
think. Um, but I mean, I worked at a place once with a lot of Scorpios, and um, what I think the selfishness is something that I can go, oh yes, I see that in all of them.
Wow, really?
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean
Huh.
um, just for themselves. They're selfish about whoever their family is, chosen or otherwise,
Okay,
right? So
so
they're going to look out for their people and make sure that their people are okay.
okay.
But I mean, and again, any astrologer listening can absolutely write in and go, tell that woman to stop talking about the planet. She don't know what she's talking about. But but there is still like selfish doesn't have to be bad if you're including like your folks. Like I look out for my people. Which is also a thing that I noticed for all of those folks.
Huh.
They were certainly selfish, but they also had their crew and they were looking out for all of them. So if you're in the crew,
You good?
it's beautiful. If you're not in the crew, it's hellish. Yeah, that's just how that is.
Huh.
Um, yeah, but but then there are other things that come into play. But anywho, with the full moon yesterday, I put together an outfit. Like I got up and I was like the first thing I thought when I woke up was, I think I want to wear something bright.
Okay.
So I put on like some kind of gold colored shorts. Again, Leo looks good in gold.
Okay.
Gold colored shorts and and like gray stuff all around it. And then just felt weird for the rest of the day. Like I was like, I feel kind of antsy and a little anxious, and I don't know why. I took a walk. I came back. I was like, I don't know if that did it. I still just felt weird all day. And then at some point, I just got into my bed fully clothed at like,
Okay.
I don't know, 7:30 p.m. And I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. And then I was looking for music to listen to see if that would help me feel better. And I ended up listening to this band ELO, which is a band from like 70s into the early 80s. And they have these very complex, it's all melancholy. It's kind of complex, their melodies, but it's also very melancholy. So it
Right.
seems happy, but there's also like just this thread of sadness through it. And that's usually what I love, stuff that you're like, this seems happy, and it's actually, no, this is truly horrible. But I'm still dancing. So I love that kind of stuff. So I listen to that because I realize I don't listen to enough ELO, but when I hear it, I'm always like, this is good. So I found like a greatest hits of theirs on Spotify, and I started listening to it, and then I fell asleep. And while listening to it, and my roommate had gone out somewhere, when he came back, it was like 11:30, and I was asleep with my phone resting on my face. Like I just put my phone resting on my face while the music was playing at full volume, and I slept like that until he came
Wow.
back. And then when he came back and said something, I was like, oh wow. And I woke up and I was like, oh, I feel much better now.
Oh man. Okay.
And then I wrote a joke, and then I couldn't sleep again for like 3 hours. But
Jeez.
yeah, it was weird. It was a weird night.
Okay.
You
I
don't
fell
know.
asleep to music playing too, now that I think about it. Like
Uh,
I Gabby got home and she asked me like how I was feeling. I was like, I don't know, I'm in a funk. I don't know how to
mhm.
explain it.
Yep,
I'm in like
that's
a weird
exactly.
funk.
Yep,
And I
yep.
had stuff to do. So when she got home, normally that's like her cue for like, all right, I'm gonna hold it down. You go do what you gotta do in the office. And I just
Mhm.
went to our bedroom to like unwind first. I turned on the fan. I put on a song by this rapper named Wordsworth I really like.
Mhm.
And I think I fell asleep. I was kind of like in a both like awake and asleep. I knew like
Mhm.
my plan was to not go to sleep till tomorrow. Like I
Mhm.
knew I had that objective because I purposely laid upside down. Like I put my feet to the head. Cause I know if I do that, Gabby's gonna come to bed and get mad, and she'll be like, "Yo, you
Sure.
gotta flip," you know. And I slept on
Right.
top of the blankets too.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, she'll
Those
like
are all
insist I gotta
classic
get up.
moves. Mhm.
So I know I did that, and I took like an hour of like a weird daze back and forth. And she was like, "What's why ain't you downstairs working?" I was like, I'm on my way." She said, "Well, you've been here for like an hour and a half, just playing this one song over and over again."
Are you okay?
So I was just checking in to make sure you're good to get started. So yeah,
Yeah.
Wordsworth got a lot of streams yesterday on Spotify because of me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what it was. I mean, I was just in a weird funk, and I knew about halfway through the day, I was like, oh, I'm just going to be like this. And I don't know. I don't exactly know what to do with myself, or how to get out of it. I know I just have to. This day has to end in order for me to progress. Otherwise, I'm just going to be soaking in this for today. This is what today's agenda is. So yeah, it was kind of wild. Also, I'm trying to get cut. I got a new bed.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, I got this new mattress, and I don't know about I don't know about us and foam, man. I don't know about foam. I just don't know about foam.
It might
Like I
not be
feel
for you.
it's just it's fine. I know it eventually has to break itself in, I
Yeah,
guess.
the first like 30 days of a foam
Hmm.
mattress it's again a know you process.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, it's
So,
like getting full air. Like within 24 hours, most foam mattresses inflate to like 90%. And then
uh-huh.
like it takes like a week or two to get that final 10. So you're not
Uh,
getting the full effects of the foam mattress yet.
Right, right,
Like
right.
it's good enough to sleep on, but like realistically by like week 3 or 4, that's when you're starting to like notice like, oh, no, we've gotten to know each other. You found a groove.
Okay. All right. Yeah. See, that's what I'm telling myself. Like, we just don't know each other yet. It's going to be awkward. It's going to be weird. We're going to have odd conversations. I get it. But I'm still like, do I trust you? Do I trust you? Yeah.
It's like the like you like when you're on like a date with someone you really like, but like on that first kiss, y'all like accidentally bump teeth. It's
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. We're
Like
bumping teeth right now.
yeah, you bumping teeth. That's it. Like, oh, like I know that's not gonna be indicative of us. But
Right.
it happened. It happened.
Yeah.
Just look past
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. We're definitely bumping teeth right now. So,
But
um,
there's hope on the other side, Shy, is all I'm saying.
all right. I hope so. But so that was the other thing. I just felt weird. And then I had to go to a stranger to try and feel better. Uh, but that's it. Other than that, everything's fine.
All is well. Oh man, I've been dealing with the kids kind of calling me out on like my lack of cooking. They were like,
Oh, really?
yeah, like the kids like they were like it was like 3 or 4 days in a row where like I had a lot going on like work wise. So like after I picked them up, I make sure if they need a snack, I would buy something.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I would say, hey, your mom's coming home in about an hour or two. She's gonna make the dinner for you. If you need a snack, let me know while I'm picking you up so I can pick it up. But I'm going downstairs. I gotta go right,
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, yo, Dad, you don't cook no more. And you don't cook a lot of stuff as is. And I was like, all right, y'all get real direct. Y'all get brave. And normally, like, I would, like, make a joke or tease them a little bit because they say random things as is. But it was like a united front. Like, they were both on it. Like, Aiden was like, yeah, like, they talked about this on their own before.
Yeah.
Like, this was, we got to confront him about it kind of thing, And admittedly, like, they like consoled me first. Like, they gave me like the shit sandwich. They were like, you make great breakfasts, Dad. Great breakfasts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember them anymore, though. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've had the breakfasts.
Wow.
And I miss them. I miss the pancake breakfasts. I miss the French toast. Bacon, egg, and cheese is good, too. We got to have that for dinner, So they were like, we understand. You don't have the range of what Mom has, but we still appreciate those meals.
Right. And you ain't even doing those anymore.
You ain't doing them.
They say no. Wow. You were barely doing shit, and now you ain't even doing the shit you were barely doing. Is what they said to you.
They called me out on this. I was like, all right. So I got like 8 pounds of bacon upstairs. We getting breakfast for all 3 meals for like 4 days now. I'm gonna make every type of breakfast food there is.
This feels vindictive.
No.
Like, you don't have to. You can. I mean, is there a way to? Have you considered branching out into another meal other than breakfast?
I could do lunch. I'm pro sandwich. Dinner is my weakness, admittedly. I could do a variety of breakfasts, and I have a solid variety of sandwiches, so I could do most lunches.
All right, are your sandwiches warm or toasted?
I could do all that. I do like I do on the frying pan toasting. Like I do craziness. Sure, yeah. You know what I mean? Like I go ham on the things I do. It's just full admission, it's not a wide range of stuff. You want salads, I don't know how to make those, even though my wife swears it's easier.
Yeah, so salad's pretty easy.
I don't know.
You can buy almost all the ingredients for a very basic salad in various bags.
Yeah, that's what she was telling me. She's like, it's just already done, guys. So like, you just pull the bag out.
Literally can just get a plastic container of lettuce. Some people don't trust it, but I mean, I guess those are people who have time to forage for the various different greens to mix them up and then chop them up. I ain't got time for that. I'm gonna let some organic girl do it for me.
Amen.
I think. Yeah, and then you can get a bag of like chopped carrots, or they have bags of carrots and broccoli together
Okay.
meant for stir fry. You can just cut those up. Or, I mean, it sounds like one of your kids may be getting ready to attempt to cook for themselves.
Yeah, my daughter is around that phase. Like she's already doing a lot of the sides. She she's done the pancakes. She's done, but in terms of like during the dinner serving, she'll jump in and make her own like potatoes, the plátanos.
Good.
And she's real big on broccoli.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to start with the sides because I'm not very good at sides, but I will cook whatever meats you have.
Okay.
Depending on however, like I'll not that I'm much of a cook. Honestly, here, and this is from one non-cook to another, when it comes to making dinner time things, just say to yourself, like literally do affirmations as you're cooking. One, treat it like a cooking show. So talk your way through it as if there's a camera shooting down. That makes it kind of mentally fun for you.
Okay.
Secondly, affirmations. So when you are cooking, like when I have to flip an egg, I'm not adept at like flipping things necessarily.
Yeah, I can't.
So I get the spatula where it needs to be, and then before I flip it, I say confidence, and then I flip and then I flip the egg. It works more often than not. So just do things like that. When I'm cooking like meat or whatever, I say apply heat to object, or so, you know what I mean? Like I literally say things like that. Just heat it on both sides. All you're doing, it sounds like it's tough, but you're just putting seasoning on it and then you're applying heat. That's literally it. Like break it down and say it out loud if you have to its bare essence.
It's just like when you cook, like I'll be watching recipe shows. Like I'm big on this dude, Sam the Cooking Guy on YouTube. And yo, he's dope. He just makes all of those decadent foods ever.
Right.
And like he has restaurants, but he's making them for like his family. So like I'm like, oh, this is love. I'm with this. I could do this.
Right.
And like he makes the sandwiches, but like he's clearly well off from cooking. So like his like outdoor cooking space is bigger than all of the cooking space I have. Like my stove, my barbecue, everything. He has like one pan outside that's bigger than all that. So he's like, oh, I'm gonna just make some quick sandwiches for the family. And he's making like 8 burgers at once. I don't know where you got the space. You know, it's crazy.
Sure.
So
you scale it down, right?
Well, that's that's the thing. Like I want to accomplish something. Like he'd be like, "Oh, we could do this real quick." I don't got the space to do all that, so like it gets overwhelming really quickly. Like to time everything. So like when I make like fries and like these cheesesteak sandwiches, both of them are individually very good. They are not ready at the same time.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
I don't know how to do that. I don't know how people time all those things out. I tried incorporating I tried making the steak sandwiches yesterday with roasted red potatoes and olive oil and black peppered broccoli. That was my plan. You know, it sounded like, okay, if I do this, solid meal, got some healthy stuff. You know, I thought it was good, and they all individually came out solid. But like it was like a restaurant, like you were getting courses. You know, and that was not my plan, but that's what happened. Like, yo, this is the broccoli course. You know, you having broccoli solo because it came out first.
Yeah, no, I mean, and maybe it's because I am used to cooking for one. When something is done, then I guess it's done. And maybe I just go ahead and eat it, or I just put it in whatever its little serving thing is, and I just put foil around it if it's hot. And I'm like, I'll get back to you in a second. And then I go back to the other thing.
That's the one thing I can't master. I got 4 people hungry at once.
That is tough cooking for a lot of people, which is why it's good to incorporate one of your kids into helping and to have like an idea. If you're freestyling something, that's one thing, but whatever it is you're freestyling, definitely look at some sort of recipe, if only to see how long it's supposed to take to cook, even if you're not using the recipe.
Okay.
If it's just like, Oh, roasted potatoes? Yeah, you want to put those on broil for like 45 minutes.
Right,
You're
right,
like,
right.
word, gotcha. So I'll do that, put that in first. It's just a matter of, knowing how long things are ultimately supposed to take. Anything like if it's some sort of vegetable that you're sauteing in oil, that's going to take no time at all. So you can do that last.
Yeah, I gotta work that out because
Yeah. You
and
gotta,
that's the
yeah, you
thing.
gotta write it out like a set. Write it out like a set.
Do my
Put it on,
jokes in these order.
put it on Post-its, and then just move it around like, oh, I got to do this first before I can do this, and then it'll all come together in a callback that is the plate.
That's the thing, yo. On God, yo, I'll be seeing Gabby like throwing down, and I know she knows it's easy for her, and I'm trying. Like I see,
Mhm.
like I get points from her when she sees me try. So I appreciate that she knows I'm putting effort, but I also
Right.
like secretly hate that I know I'm not doing as well as she
Don't,
is, and like I
yeah.
know like it's an hour-long excursion, and I know like 5 minutes in, yep, I did something wrong already. Like I could feel it in the living room. I could hear her giggle a little, like, yep, you fucked that up, and I know I'm off course.
Okay, well, you just have to try to not compare yourself to what she's doing. Just announce over and over, this is daddy's kitchen now.
I'm,
You know what I
I'm
mean?
trying,
This is
Sha.
Gastor's dinner now.
Like you know how
Y'all used to
people.
how mama does it. Now you're gonna get it the way I do it. Taking ownership makes everyone go, oh, all right. Well, I guess if it's Gastor, great. Then we will have dessert before the meat, but
That's it.
we know the meat's coming,
You know, like I knew, I knew it was bad because I was starting to feel like NBA players, like you know how like people criticize the moves that you making, they can't do them either, but they know you doing them wrong.
Yes,
It
yeah.
feels just like my kids. They'll watch me cook, and they'll be like, "Mom, don't do it like that." And like I know they don't know how to do it, but like I know they've seen my wife do it enough that they know this is different. You know?
Right. And that's when you say that's because that's how mom cooks.
Yeah.
I cook different. I'm surprised you're not already, but it's because you're too in your head about the cooking.
I'm
So you
legit
just
gonna
got
start
to,
a cooking show, Shy.
you literally just got to trash talk. I think I told you this before. You need to start trash talking the food.
Yeah, you got me.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Done deal. I'm starting a cooking show where I should talk to food, Shy.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the only way. I mean, I come at it at a more like serene, you know, kind of way. But that would work for you. You
Yeah,
absolutely should shit talk the
it's
food.
going down. I'm shit
Yeah.
talking all my meals. It's happening. Real talk. You think I'm playing? These are gonna be my new
No, I
videos.
don't.
On
I
God,
know. Yeah, please record them.
it's happening. Let's do it. Get excited, y'all. It's coming soon.
Oh boy.
Let's get into the news, Shy.
Yeah.
Louisiana woman arrested for refusing to give back $1.2 million accidentally deposited into her account. That's right. She was arrested last week on Wednesday after allegedly refusing to return $1.2 million that was accidentally deposited into her brokerage account by Charles Schwab. About a month back after Kellen opened an account with Schwab in January, the company installed enhancements to the software used to transfer assets. Schwab intended to transfer $82.56 into her service account, but instead she received $1.2 million, $1,205,619. The error was immediately noticed, and a reclaim request was submitted by Schwab the next day to the institution that handles the money mistakenly sent to her account. The company received a cash not available notification. That's how it's done, folks. Well done.
Yeah. See, all these banks want you to use their apps, and they want you to turn on their push notifications. You think if I get a push notification that's like $1.2 million has been deposited in your account, I'm not saying, hey, I need to take a little break and running faster than vehicles to the closest bank to get that shit out of there.
Yo, this would have been all
Absolutely.
cash at this point. Like, I'm surprised she's still in the country. I'd have been ghost.
I wonder if did she try to move it to a I mean,
It looks like she just started spending it. She spent $48,000.
oh, she bought a house, didn't
Yo,
she?
she bought 48 grand to buy a 2021 Hyundai Genesis sports utility vehicle.
Oh, that makes me a little sad. Well, no, Hyundais are good
Yeah,
cars.
that's a solid vehicle. I'm actually impressed, Alex. She ain't go BM. She was like, nah, I gotta be
Yeah,
humble.
no, that's true.
This
That's
gotta
true.
last. Yo,
But I
respect.
mean, I forget that Hyundais have definitely stepped it up since they were first introduced. Every time I hear Hyundai, for a second, I'm like, ain't that the cheap car? But not anymore. Now it's the car that looks like every other car on the street, and you're not sure if it's a Hyundai or man. I don't even want to get into that, but because that will be a whole episode of me complaining about how Hyundais look like every other car just enough. But I mean, I still would have like gotten a like a Toyota something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would have
Like,
gotten a BM, but I would have gone like used. I'd be like, yo, I gotta keep it low key for a little bit, but I've been wanting one of these.
Yeah, no, I would get like a, probably I would, yeah, it'd probably be like a Toyota or I had a Mazda once that was good to me for a long time, so I'd probably try to see what Mazdas were looking like.
Okay.
But I absolutely wouldn't. I would not try to get something that was extremely like, when did you get money? Because you've never expressed an interest in a Tesla. What is this? Like,
well, she's being charged now with theft for obviously a theft of over 25 grand. Yeah, that qualifies. Bank fraud, illegal transmission of monetary funds. That's not on her. They did it to her. And she was fired from her job as a 911 dispatcher for Jefferson Parish's sheriff's office, where she'd been working for over 4 years. That's just, I don't feel like any of those things are fair except for maybe the bank fraud. I feel like
yes, but I mean, people make mistakes all the time. And sometimes you just got to eat that mistake. And if that means that you got to eat $1.2 million, I mean, money isn't even real, everybody.
Yeah.
It's not even real.
Clearly it's not.
Look at this. These are just numbers.
Yeah.
These are just, no one asked for a paper amount and a coin amount to go with this. None of this should just pretend you have 1.2 million again.
That's it.
We're all pretending. We're all fucking pretending. So just pretend you got it and give it back to wherever it was supposed to go and let this woman drive her new Hyundai.
Yeah, she could have done
why we're
ads for y'all.
stressing her.
You know what I mean? She could have been in order commercials. Sign up for Charles Schwab. You might get 1.2 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely use your push notifications, everybody. Turn those on.
You know what got me real tight, Sha? Like, they're blaming her for this. Those two numbers aren't even similar. Like,
not even close.
$82.56. There isn't an 8 in that number at all. Like, I'm looking at 1.205619.
Yeah.
Like, they are remotely close to each other.
Nope, not at all.
Keep that money, lady.
Yeah.
Hope she gets that whole bag. Keep the Hyundai. Drive it to the max. If they make you return it, send it back with like 13,000 miles that you got this week. Do something crazy. Drive to Florida with that joint. Go wild. You know what I mean?
Oh, man. I do love how they were like, oh, whoops, we better get on this immediately. And it was like, oh, it's gone.
Oh, yeah.
The bank was like, oh, no, she been gone.
Even that. Though, like, you lose 1.2 and they sent a return notice the next day. Y'all didn't even care about that money like that. It took y'all a whole day to be like, yo, we should probably ask for that back. You know, like, y'all clearly don't need this fictitious money, but it affected her because she put it to use right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She had plans. She's been thinking about this her whole life. If I come up on 1.2 million, first thing I'm going to do, buy a Hyundai. You know?
You see, we already discussed what cars we would get. I'm trying to decide between Toyota and Mazda. I've given this thought.
You know?
I've given this a lot of thought. I never buy a lottery ticket, but I tell you what, I know the exact amount I would need to win in the lottery and how much taxes would be taken out of that, and then how I would break that up.
Okay.
To take care. I know all of this. Have I gotten a lottery ticket in the past decade? No.
Nah?
No.
When
I know it's bullshit, but if for some reason I find out it's not bullshit, I'm there because I got a plan.
Only time I buy lotto tickets is when like it gets like over the amount of the odds. Like when the numbers are crazy. So like, you know how like winning a lottery, depending on what it is, it'll be like 1 in every 192 million people win. So like
Right.
if the
Uh-huh.
number for that lotto hits like 200 million and up, then I'll buy tickets. And if it gets double that number, since now I'm gonna be able to pay the tax in full, then I'm buying in bulk. Cause now, like in theory, assuming you don't split the winnings with someone else, if you had enough time, you could buy every number and make a profit. You know?
Okay, see, that's why I don't. That's why I don't fuck with it.
But you,
all that math, and you ain't gonna get nothing.
And you can't. Yo, Shot, real talk. There was a year where that happened on my daughter's, and like the number hit like something crazy, like 600 million, and it was. I remember it eventually got to like a billion, but like it hit that. It started hitting them crazy numbers on my daughter's birthday. So like instead of it being my daughter's birthday, it was just me recruiting people into buying lotto tickets with me. So we had 12 people each put in $100. So I went to the corner store with $1,200 and bought tickets.
Come on,
straight
you
up.
Slowed up that entire line.
Yo, it was bananas. I had to go to 2 stores. He didn't even take all my tickets. He's like, yo, Poppy, I don't got the papers, Poppy. And he's like,
yeah,
I shut that place down. So. It was crazy.
Oh my God.
Oh man. In other news, the CDC issues new outdoor mask guidance for fully vaccinated people. That's right, we out here. U.S. Centers for Disease Control Prevention on Tuesday issued a new guidance saying that fully vaccinated people can now unmask at small outdoor gatherings or when dining outside with friends from multiple households. That's right. If you vaccinated or not, as long as I'm vaccinated fully, I could be around you without my mask. It is real out here. I'm just excited that this is the case. It's official. You know, I don't need to wear this no more out in these streets.
All right.
As long as I'm around small groups.
Here's how I feel. And it's funny that this came up because I saw where someone had tweeted something to the effect of like, you know, how can you hear this and not see how it's good news, right?
Yeah.
So you've been fully vaccinated. You can go outside. And there's a whole list of things like you can, if you're in a small gathering, you can go without the mask. If you're outside by yourself, you can go without the mask. If you're not, you know, going to be around a lot of people and you're by yourself, you're outside, you can go without the mask. That's great. That's fantastic. That's wonderful. And so this tweet basically was just like, anybody who's reading this and they're still like, I don't know, you know, your brain's broken. And I'm like, yeah, our brain is broken. Our brain is broken from a year and some change of complete misinformation. And it's like, yes, I understand. And this should be the case. And that's great. But I don't, who the fuck, like, great. So now there are people who didn't want to wear a mask anyway, who aren't vaccinated, who now are like, I don't need to. And it's like, well, that's great. But you kind of, who are you? I like knowing. Who are you? What's your story? I kind of like knowing. So, I mean, just yesterday I made the decision, okay, when I go outside, I'll wear one mask if I'm not around people. And then when I go into a place, I'll put on the second mask. So I'll carry a second mask around with me. Do you know what I mean? My brain's broken. You're absolutely right. My brain's broken. This is not any way that I thought a year and a half ago. But this is how I'm thinking now because I'm scared as fuck because nobody knows what the hell they're talking about, it feels like.
I mean,
and even now that people do know what they're talking about, hey, man, look, I've been through a rough relationship, right? We can't put it all on my ex, but he was toxic. So now I'm just supposed to trust you because... you need to give me some time. I'm sure there's an R&B song about just give me a second. Right? So let's apply that to this.
Oh man. Yo, I would love somebody to like repurpose some like 112 or Boyz II Men for the
I've been hurt before. You understand?
man, the vision. I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
just somebody out in the rain, a vest on, no shirt, outside a warehouse, arms open, singing up to the sky, but with still a mask on, of course.
What are you singing
That's
about? Who broke up with you? Nah, it's COVID, son.
oh, that is how my brain is working now. And then it came down to that person like saying, like, oh well, I didn't want to, I am tired of being outside by myself and there's no one around me and I'm sitting in a park or something and someone yelling at me, mask, where's your mask? And I'm like, oh, so you're tired of being inconvenienced,
Hey.
even though you're doing the right thing. Hey, man, people in hell want ice water. We're all being misunderstood out here. You know what I mean? Like, fucking suck it up. I don't know.
Oh man, that's right. You heard it here first. Shalewa Sharpe, suck it up. That's
Look,
the hot take.
Get the vaccines. Get both shots, please, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Please get both shots. Don't think you got one shot and you good. You ain't good.
Nah.
Get both shots. If you're outside and you're by yourself or you're only with a few people and you want to take your mask off, that's cool. But please, let's not give up all of it. I like when y'all are coughing in your elbow. I like when you're washing your hands for 2 minutes at a time. Like let's not give it all up.
Yeah, I'm a big pro to hand washing. That's gotta stick around. Fellas, I've seen some really scary things up until 2019. I'm glad this has kind of changed the behavior.
Yeah. How do you feel about the whole mask thing? Are you okay? I mean, at least outside, will you be walking around outside now?
I mean,
with no mask?
I'm still gonna wear the mask to everywhere. That's like the only place I'll go maskless is the corner store. Because I feel like the corner store, like my corner store is literally next door. And like I got enough of an understanding of the rhythm of like, oh, this is just me and like two people here.
Okay.
And I could order my food and be in and out and never deal with more than one other random person. And that's gonna be like me dipping my toe into like normalcy again.
Okay.
But yeah, I've had the shots, I've done shows, and I still keep the mask on whenever I'm not on stage. Like I got the shots. I feel like I'm allowed to not have the mask on, but I still feel weird about it. Like it's still in my head, like I'm supposed to have it on. So yeah.
Yeah, I did a show in person, and I found that when I wasn't on stage, all I was doing was just constantly like, do I put two masks on? All right, I'll take this one off.
Yeah.
Okay, can I take this one off? I'll put that on. Okay, I'll hug this person. I won't hug that person. Okay, I'll put the second one back on again. I just didn't know what to do with my mask.
Yo, real talk, I'm glad you said it because it's not just me. Like, do you judge people and think, yo, you got COVID? Like, you look like a COVID having person. Like,
because I'm just like, I'm moving so jittery, and I'm just like, no, I don't know exactly. Like, look, I've been watching all of you on Instagram. You're all so stupid enough to put your lives on Instagram. I've been watching, so I know you're going out and you're doing things or whatever. All right, I remember when you got your shots and all that kind of stuff and blah, blah, blah. But I don't know, you still did some things that felt reckless. And I mean, you seem to have bounced back from it. But also, I don't know. And, I know you recently got over COVID, and I'm glad you have your mask on but also, like, can I just fist bump you virtually or something? Like, are you? I mean, I feel like that was recent. No, but I guess you're all right. And you went everywhere, and I don't know if you had a mask on or not. And at this point, I feel like it's just God loves you more. So, okay, I guess I'll give you a hug because I'm fully vaccinated and you're a friend. You know what I mean? Like, I have to go through all those thoughts very quickly.
Yeah. I be straight up judging my boys. I was like, yo, listen, I know you was out here no condom and chicks.
Yeah.
Your whole life. So if you didn't care about your penis, I know you won't care about breathing. Like it's not that far fetched. Like at least you could see when something's wrong with your dick, and you still was okay taking those risks. So I've gotten those texts from you saying, "Hey, what you think this is?" I remember those messages, B, and I'm here for you, but I'm gonna be over here while I'm here for you. So Yeah, when I see those people at the shows, I'm like, hey, it was good, but you staying over there. Like I'm keeping all these masks on, no daps until 2022.
Right,
I
right,
need to
right.
know we good out here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's weird. It's weird, and I just have to remind myself we all have been broken in some way mentally,
Mm-hmm.
and so we shouldn't necessarily shame other people's comfort levels with this. But we also just still need to be a little bit on guard because the one thing that we have learned is that not everybody gives a shit about anybody else.
Right.
So, then I'm going to have to keep an eye out for me because no one else is necessarily doing so.
All right.
So if that means that I'm going to have to give you a side eye and go, I'm going to need to see your paperwork. I know we were tight beforehand, but I'm going to need to see your paperwork
Real
first.
talk. Yo,
No harm. I got to look out for me.
straight up. This vaccine's the only thing I'm Republican about. All right.
Yep.
I got to see your papers, my G. I need.
Gotta see it. Gotta see it. I'm gonna need that passport, not just for you to travel, but just for you to say hello to me. I'm gonna need to see that passport.
The U.S. to begin sharing is AstraZeneca coronavirus vaccine doses soon. The United States plans to share millions of doses of AstraZeneca's coronavirus vaccine with other countries in the coming months, according to the White House. Today, we announced that the administration is looking at options to share American-made AstraZeneca vaccine doses during the next few months. I love all this. Is so dope. This is such a gangster thing. It's like, yo, we gonna help y'all. We ain't gonna give you the bootleg shit though. Like, we ain't using this. Y'all can have it.
Right.
Here's we got the first one, we got the second one, we got the extra chunky third one. Here's number 4. Y'all
I didn't even know that we had AstraZeneca here. I thought that was being used mostly in Europe and Australia. I thought we were basically Moderna, Pfizer, J&J.
I'm telling you.
I didn't know that we had AstraZeneca.
This feel like a whole country of people that wears Nikes and Adidas, and we're like, yo, we gonna send Africa sometimes. It's the same shit. This is exactly what it felt like to me, Sha. You know them sneakers nobody would wear here? Y'all can have that shit.
We really got to do better than Tom's for Africa.
You know what I'm saying?
Africa deserves arch support.
Seriously.
Let's be real.
Send them some real, B. They deserve insoles. That's all I'm saying, B. So we've taken so much from that continent. Send them dudes an air bubble. Just one air bubble for their heels. Ah, damn, B.
Just one air bubble for their heels. That is, I'm writing that down now. That's merch. That is merch. Just one air bubble for their heels.
Just one, but at least the left, they could plant on that. Something.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Oh my goodness. Also, I love that we are sending our AstraZeneca to other countries because India is going through it right now, and they are running out of everything. People are buying and selling oxygen on the black market. It is dire and very terrifying.
Wow.
And the way to beat this disease is to beat it worldwide because it's got the whole planet in its clutches, right? And so India was just like, hey, can y'all come up off of some of that you're sitting on there? And initially America was like, nah, we good. And it's like, yo, that's bullshit. And I feel like they did that on a Friday. They were like, nah. And the whole weekend was just dragged. Really? 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 And then came back Monday you know what? I was thinking. I mean, there's this closet I never checked, and it turns out we had a whole bunch of AstraZeneca in it. So I guess we'll send that to you. And it's like, yeah, let's do that.
We go rush it over though. When I get the chance.
A few months. When the next time I'm by the post office, I will mail you some AstraZeneca. Oh, we're so goddamn trifling. Because please believe, when anyone else had anything, we definitely sent someone over there to try and pick some of that shit up
Big
and bring it back. So yeah, I'm glad that we're going to do this. I hate that it took a dragging first. You know what? I also feel like that may be how we have to work the White House. I feel
Mm.
like there's like the gut reaction of being just an old person who's like, no, bootstraps, let them bootstrap it. And then, we need like 2 days of Twitter being like, really, bruh? Like, oh, all right. Well, I sat down and they told me I was wrong. And, I'm open to being wrong. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do the opposite of the thing,
Yeah,
And, like,
they need the whole weekend to like sit with their grandchildren. They're like, yo,
and they,
you can't be doing this nonsense out here. They talking about you on Twitter. Twir?
it's like every weekend we got to sit the Biden presidency down and show them what they're saying on TikTok. They're like, well, I can't have that. They're so mad at me. So that may be how we get shit done. Like it may have to be a gradual winning over of this old dude who's doing like knee jerk shit and then has to be told, wait, we're doing it differently. And then he's like, oh, that's right. We're doing it differently.
At least there's a process now. I'm with it.
I'm seeing, okay, maybe this is what our process is. And it's not the kind of old dude who's just going to dig in and say, no, I'm always right.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
An Alaskan state lawmaker who called flight attendants mass bullies and clashed with an airline employee on video over mask rules is now banned from Alaskan Airlines for her continued refusal to comply with the mask policy. That's right. Restriction on Republican State Senator Laura Rainbold will make her job more difficult. Alaskan Airlines operates the only regular flights between her home north of Anchorage and the state capital in Juneau. I believe I said that correctly. This is I don't know, B. That could have been a ton of words for me. Juneau. Yeah, I know what I'm trying to say. Hopefully, I mean, to our Alaskan listeners, my bad. You know how to say this one?
Juneau? I think it's Juneau.
Juneau. Boom. Yeah, I wouldn't have. I thought Juneau was that movie.
And it is,
Yeah.
But this is like a French spelling because they're French Canadian.
Shouts to the French right there, giving me challenges every day, making me a better person. What's different between me and Laura Rainbow? I can admit my faults and I'll learn from it. All right.
Oh my
I mispronounced this word, Juno. I learned from it. I'll be saying it correctly going forward. Hopefully, Laura has learned to wear a mask now that she can no longer fly out of her own state's airline. This is so like amazing to me. You're like this.
That's wild.
How you get banned from the only airline in your country? It's named. It's your state. It's named after your state, and you are the state senator of that state. Like that. That's just weird branding.
I mean, I wonder how like her constituents feel. You know what I mean? if they're just like, yeah, that's who we voted for. A woman who can't do her job because she's so hard-headed. Or if they're like, oh my God, I can't. Why do we keep finding these women who do these stupid things?
And you know that like her constituents were on those planes.
Yeah.
Like when she's getting kicked off of these flights and like being like yelling mass bully, like she might have been yelling that to her people. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, absolutely is. Yeah.
It's wild out here in these streets, man. People have no shame, but they continually amaze me at how far they will push those things, and it's just good to see,
I mean, oh boy. So I don't know. It's hard to say because I was going to say I'm willing to bet that she hasn't been vaccinated, but no, that's not how that works usually.
Nah.
You're yelling about mask bullies and whatnot, and then you are a sneaky squirrel getting your vaccine. You're not telling anybody. And then you're out here just like, take the mask off. They can't tell us what to do. And you're the only safe one in the bunch.
She was on Facebook posting that she on Sunday night had gone to New Heights to serve Alaska. She said, I'm keenly aware of the monopoly in air transport that Juneau needs to review. nothing could get in the way to be in the Capitol to fight the executive branch infringement on the legislator and defending your rights by trying to stop HB 76, which is on the Senate floor now. That's right.
Bitch, just put the mask on. What are we doing? Why are you making such a stupid stand? Just put on the mask. Aren't you going to be asleep? Aren't you going to be asleep? Put on the damn mask.
Yo.
Also, don't you have to wear it to work?
Yeah, like you got to rock it anyway. People blow my mind with this, man. I don't know. And all the complaints that I have about a mask, the airplane's the one place where it's not an issue. Like, it steams up your glasses. Not an issue. It's mad AC in that joint. Like, you good money. People bringing you water. Like, you chilling. Like, I just went through it. It was the only environment where I've had to wear a mask for an extended period and felt comfortable.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I don't get the complaints, you know. But I really like knowing that there's people like this out there, because I know, like, as rough as I am as a person, I'm not the bottom. Like, there's just, you know,
that is a relief.
I get
that is a
wrong
relief
all the time, Sha, but I know there's someone out there that gets it wrong and is hard-headed about it. So I'm like, okay, you know, at least I got hope, you know. Let's see it. CDC, FDA lift the pause on the J&J coronavirus, and they add a safety warning. You would think, yeah. The Johnson & Johnson coronavirus is back as of Friday in the streets, baby. Remix is out in these streets. New single.
Yeah, it's back in the streets, but it's got a new pair of glasses or something. You know what I mean? It's letting you know it's not 100%, but it's back out.
The vaccinations could resume as soon as Saturday, according to the FDA. The agencies acted quickly after a vote by the CDC to recommend lifting the pause. We have concluded that the known for potential benefits of the Janssen COVID-19 vaccine outweigh its known potential risk in individuals 18 years of age and older. So yeah, you know, for everyone out there that is taking it so far, for the most part, there seems to be an understanding that you should still be fine. In women, the cases of 18 to 49, there was approximately 7 cases per million. So the number has gotten bigger. Once they've been able to fully analyze it, so they're still saying this is not enough to stop using it. But it is something to be aware of, in particular for women 18 to 49 that have taken a shot. So yeah, if you're a woman over 18, go for the 2-for-1. You know what I mean? That's offered by the other 2 companies. I don't think it's worth the added risk when there's plenty of other ones out there that are effective that haven't had this documented thing happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think now that it's set up that basically every adult in the country could walk in and get a vaccine, I think a lot of places now will tell you which one that they have.
Yeah.
So you can, you know, just decide if you want to be a Moderna girl or a, you know, a Pfizer bitch or whatever, however you want to do it. Yeah.
That's dope. They got menus now.
Yeah, they got menus.
You're here for the shot. I actually already seamless the head. You know what I mean? I was on Grubhub. I asked for the Pfizer. You know what I mean?
Right. So, you know, there's that too. But overall, just in general, I mean, I don't know, be careful out there.
Yeah.
I just keep wanting to say, hey, everyone, let's at least still be careful. But I mean, what's careful at this point? I'm also knocking bitches over to get to the front of the line. So what is careful?
Oh, man. In non-COVID news, Liz Cheney thinks January 6th should be disqualifying for some GOPers. That's right. Wyoming Representative Liz Cheney has made no secret of her opinion that the riot at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th was incited by then President Donald Trump, and that for her party to maintain any sort of credibility with voters, it must acknowledge that fact and try to move on from Trump with all due haste. Yo, much respect to this lady. This is dope. Going against the party line, being bold with her statement, and calling out the rest of the party and flat out saying, hey, listen, I know we got differences of opinions with what's going on the other side, but that should not mean we charge random buildings and cause riots and, post pictures and videos of it on Facebook when we do. So yeah, anyone that did that, she's basically calling them out. And this is kind of splitting the Republican Party, obviously, because I'm pretty sure this isn't the vibe with a lot of people.
The vibe. Yeah, nah. Yeah, I guess this probably isn't the vibe.
But I rock with this because this is like, I know she would never use this phrase, but this is the epitome of like, have that same energy. Like she's had that same energy now for, 3 months essentially. Like, right afterward, it was real easy to be like, oh, nah, I ain't one of them. She's still doing it, right now when it's kind of like calmed down and people have kind of moved on to other things politically. She's still out here saying, oh, no. I remember the nonsense y'all did back then. I still want no parts of that being on my brand. So, yeah, I think this is a real, like, impressive stance on her part, just because it's not really getting any Democratic votes, but it is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's fine for. I mean, it's wonderful, but it is still, a Cheney trying to tell other Republicans what to do, and let them. They're gonna have to work that out. You know what I mean? Like I see it happening, and I'm like, yeah, y'all really need to get that shit together. But certainly whatever you do will affect me in some way as far as like voting and all that kind of stuff. But also, I mean, it's literally just like one wolf yelling at the other wolves for being mega wolves. You know what I mean? It's like a wolf saying, hey, y'all are doing too much. Why weren't you doing just the normal wolvery that we were doing? Like, we had a plan. We were already like tearing their heads off. And now y'all are trying to tear our heads off because you don't like the way we're tearing their heads off because this one wolf who's damn near dead told you to. You know what I mean? I'm like, this seems like y'all wolves need to get your shit together before you start attacking us. So I feel like their issue. I will never trust the Cheney. I'll never trust the Cheney. So it's just like, yeah, that's great. It's kind of like when Trump called down to Georgia and talked to the Secretary of State and was like, hey, y'all can't find the exact number of votes +1 for me to win.
Word.
And he was just like, no, we can't do that. And then released the call like, look at what this dude was trying to get us to do. We can't do that. That's not. And it's like, everyone was like, what a hero for standing up to Trump and exposing him and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, he was doing his job. And that's notable because his job was to do what the president was asking.
Yeah.
Like the reason the president went to Georgia to ask him, hey, you can't help me cheat is because they just got finished cheating 2 years prior. And that guy had a hand in it. And I'm like, I saw a lot of like my Georgia folks who were just like, let's give it up for this guy and his integrity. And I'm like, up. You say that now because it's against Trump, but guarantee you when this Trump shit dies down, he's going to go back to doing what they were doing before, which is suppressing your votes. And look at where we are now.
You know what I mean?
Look at where we are now because y'all told that dude, good for you. Good for you. No, not good for him. Fuck that dude. Yeah, he got some. Even the stop clock is right once a day. I gotta say that constantly. Cheney is the stop clock right now, but that second hand's gonna tick, and then she's gonna go back to being a fucking Cheney. I don't trust no Cheney. I'm sorry, I just don't trust no Cheney.
You know what?
So,
Shy, you sold me. Fuck this chick. Know what I mean? I don't like her either.
I mean, her daddy shot a dude in the face, and that dude apologized to her daddy. Come on. Come on. I don't trust no Cheneys. this. I'm sorry.
This is if anyone is unsure. I pick out the articles beforehand. I did not know this was set off shot as much. My bad. You know what I mean?
Hey, who knew? Who
knew?
I had no idea. I never know. It's just like I saw the name, was like, oh, what is she talking about? And I heard her, and I'm like, yeah, no, she's right. Absolutely, she's right. But still Cheney, though. She just wants things to go back to the way it was, where they were fucking us up like quietly. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I'm with you. You sold me, Sha. I'm over here. Screw this chick. All right, we don't need her. Okay.
I just, I got trust issues anyway, but I definitely don't trust issues.
Oh man. Millions of people stuck at home for more than a year are expected to hit the road for much needed post-pandemic vacations this summer. But good luck finding gas. That's right. Not that there's a looming shortage of crude oil or gasoline. Rather, it's the tanker truck drivers needed to deliver the gas to the stations who are in short supply. According to the National Tank Truck Carriers, the industry's trade group, somewhere between 20 and 25% of tank trucks in the fleet are parked heading into this summer due to a paucity of qualified drivers. At this point in 2019, only 10% of trucks were sitting idle for that reason. So yeah, there's a huge shortage in drivers available to drive.
So they need to hire more truck drivers.
That's it. You know what I mean? Let's get out
here.
So
we got plenty of oil. We just need more truck drivers to get the oil to the gas station.
That's it, baby. Join that union. I don't know if there is one for this, but yeah, I heard it out there.
I definitely did not see that coming, because I was fully prepared to just be like, they bullshitting. There's plenty of gas. We got gas. They just trying to. Oh, you don't have truck drivers. Well, now
that's on us.
My bad.
There's some dad out there like pissed off at his kid. I told you not to waste your time learning that coding shit. All right, you can't code on the road.
Oh wow!
Could be making $70,000 right now delivering gas. Oh man.
Wait. Okay, let's see here. Further in the piece, Holly McCormick, vice president in charge of driver recruitment and retention at Grotendijk Transport, an Oklahoma tanker company, said, "We were even hauling boxes for Amazon just to keep our drivers busy. A lot of drivers didn't want to do the safety protocols. We're also working with an aging workforce. Many said, I might as well take it as a cue to retire."
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so you got a bunch of hard-headed people who don't want to do the safety things, and you got the old folks who are like, maybe it's my time to hang it up. Can you find younger people who? It feels like it would be a good job to do. I mean, you have to be okay with being alone or having a partner. You can drive with a partner. I mean, I looked into truck driving some time ago.
Like, sounds like super well versed in this out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know. Wow, this is wild. I never would have thought that it's because they're running out of drivers. Have you met, there's a comedian named Dante Powell. Have you met him?
Nah.
He's very funny. But he also was a truck driver.
Okay.
I don't know if he did crude oil or whatever, because I know there are the different types of levels and licenses necessary.
Yeah.
But and I think he even was an instructor for it for a while.
Oh, dope.
But I think he may still be driving. This makes me want to reach out to him and ask him, like, yo, I read this thing. What the fuck is that about? Is that real? Are we out of truck drivers? Can we not talk these younger people into being truck drivers?
There's some terrible comedians out there that should really consider this.
Really spend some time alone.
Like, yo,
yeah,
this might be a good transition for you. You can still say all the stuff you said before. Just by yourself in the truck. Same amount of people will laugh.
Yeah.
And
I'm like, yeah.
You'll get paid handsomely though. Huge difference.
Really will. You really will.
It's solid work. I loaded. I was at UPS. I loaded trailers, and the trailer dudes was the happiest people at UPS. Them dudes was giddy. Them dudes like came in and like it was union, and they were the highest of the trailer driver, because they was like, we drive trailers, and unlike trailer drivers that are for like other companies, we're still part of this union. So like we still got like 8-hour like shifts. So like we're like super like comfortable. I'm working 40 hours as a trailer driver, and I sleep in my house every night. Like that's unheard of. So like,
Wow.
yeah, trailer drivers, they seem to have it made. We are not being paid by like the NTTC, by the way. We're not here pitching y'all on this career.
No.
This is just
That's not what's happening. We're just kind of trying to figure out why this is. I did just read further into this article, and it said that there's a new federal clearinghouse that went online in January 2020 to identify truck drivers with prior drug or alcohol violations or failed drug tests, which knocked about 40,000 to 60,000 total drivers out of the national employment pool. So,
that was kind of dope to me, Shy. It was like, yo, if you go drive these trailers for 50 hours a week, you need to have a problem, clearly, right? Like it's the only. It's been like this is almost. It almost seems like the NTTC at this point was like, yo, we need new drivers. Hit up the nearest AA meeting. Like, how do you lose 60,000 total drivers?
That's all of them, isn't it? Like, so I guess now that leaves them with like, I don't know, 37 drivers.
Is the driver. He's the only guy left.
He's the only one. Yeah.
It's Dante and it's Sylvester Stallone from Over the Top. That's it. Those are the only two trailer drivers left in America.
Oh no.
Well, if you need a gig, there's clearly 40 to 60,000 openings. So like if you don't get this is on you. It's the perfect post-quarantine job. You still don't got to talk to anybody. You know what I mean? You get out once every 4 hours, go get a meal at a abandoned diner on the I-95. You could be by yourself.
You can take a shower at one of those truck stop / gas stations that I guess are made for y'all. I know I've been in those before. I've not taken a shower there before, but they're terrifying.
Yeah, it's just scary.
Only because I was in, a Toyota Corolla.
Yo, real talk. When I was driving to Florida with my family, my kids had to use the bathroom, and the nearest one was one of those spots. So I went in there, and it was like 4 or 5 in the morning. So it's like the 4 of us coming out of my Pathfinder, and like just trailers of people sleeping. So I go into the bathroom area, and unlike the pit stops designed for people, they don't have lights. Like they just don't think trailer drivers deserve that. Like it's just dark, and like it's like mole people. Like they can still see. Because they've been going to these things for years. I can't see in it, so I'm like pitch black. My kids are scared in the dark. And like this dude comes out of the bathroom and we're looking for where to go. And he points me to the bathroom. So like he's being friendly and he's being nice on God. Like I know in his heart, he was saying nice things. But like everything he said sounded scary to me. Everything, Shy. Like... Yo, because he would be like, yo, where you guys from? I'm like, oh, we coming from New York. And he's like, oh, true. My father died in New York. I'm like, okay, yeah. Like everything was on that kind of energy. But he was really like it really felt like this was a guy that just hadn't connected with somebody else. So he just didn't know how to say words right.
Right, yeah.
So I was like, yo, this is wild. Like, and he was like, shoot, you guys out here for it. I'm like, I'm just taking the fam, on a family vacation. So the kids in the bathroom. So I'm just trying to make small talk with this dude because I don't want to like leave the kids alone there with this. So I'm just talking with homies. He's like, what you guys doing out here? He's like, just making a quick stop before we get some food. He's like, oh, true. Yeah, I choked on something recently. I'm like, why are you everything around dying with you? Like, what's going on, man?
I mean, maybe that's just what happens when you drive long enough.
Yeah, it really it was a scary convo with homie. I was like, yo, this might be it. Like, this is how I'm gonna go. Like, just at this trailer stop.
Oh my God, that's That's so funny.
But I also felt just enough like warmth where I'm like, this is probably the peak of what this guy's commanding. Like he's really trying to connect with me because he hasn't seen somebody in real life probably in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, which I mean, to be honest with you, those are really the kind of conversations that we're going to be having as we all emerge back into the world. We absolutely will be having. Yeah. So, what's new with you? I killed 6 mice yesterday in my apartment. Okay. What?
Oh man. Oh man, that's beautiful.
Oh wow.
Elon Musk. There may not be a bigger promoter of the idea that humanity should go to Mars than Elon Musk, but Musk is once again in the news for admitting, though not for the first time, that the truth about his dream is a little scary. A bunch of people will probably die in the process, says Musk. That's right. Musk made the statements during an interview with X Prize founder Peter Diamandis last week, adding about the journey. It's uncomfortable. It's a long journey. You might not come back alive. We won't make anyone go, he added. Volunteers only. I'm glad he remembered that part.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Like, not to say I knew that, but I mean, I knew that. You know what I mean? Because there was something, I read an article years ago and way before Elon Musk came into the scene and was talking like, I want to go to Mars, before anyone really knew who he was.
Right.
NASA was trying to figure out how to get to Mars, because we've been trying to get over to Mars for a hot minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they were trying out various like conditions and putting possible astronauts in those conditions just to see what that would do like to their bodies. And they were like, they had women and all this stuff. But in this piece I was reading, I think it was in a New Yorker, and it was some time ago, like years ago, it was just like, I mean, they're doing all of this, but they do acknowledge that like there's no coming back. Like you're dead. You're dead. You go up there, maybe you man a thing, and then you die. Like there's no coming back. That's just the nature of how just the travel alone,
right,
to get there, and their rotations versus our rotations, blah blah. Yeah, no one's coming back alive. And I was like, then why are we trying so hard?
It's other things.
I had that years ago. I was just like, they're not going to get. Who's gonna volunteer for this? And now here's this guy, and it's now people are just like, what do you mean people will die? And I'm like, NASA been trying to tell y'all people will die.
Mm-hmm. And
maybe we should just like let that one go.
Yeah, like there's other dreams, like
yeah.
My thing that ticked me off though, real talk, is that like he chuckled when he said
yeah,
it.
no,
like...
that's the problem. Yeah, I mean, I feel like NASA was probably like, yeah, we're going to lose some people. But they still were trying. So this guy was just like, volunteers only, but you're going to die, right? What on earth?
Yo, billionaires is different.
Yeah. They really are. They really are.
Hey, their energy is elsewhere, man. I don't know. I can't get behind that kind of vibe, but rock on. Finally, Oscars, ABC exec talks about the great risks that they took, but some of them may have not paid off. The Oscars were different this year, but not everyone was thrilled about it. Ratings plummeted 58% from last year, making it the lowest Academy Awards rated show ever. And while there were some shiny moments, the ceremony seemed to have ended abruptly, most notably, instead of ending with the Best Picture award, they ended with the Best Actor award, which most people thought was going to go to Chadwick Boseman. Instead went to Sir Anthony Hopkins, despite Boseman being the odds-on favorite. And on top of that, Hopkins was not there to receive the award. A lot of quality decisions here.
All right, you already know. I got so too much to say about this shit.
Talk to me, Sha.
I was like, that's why he put this last on.
You
this
know
one.
it.
He's gonna set it up. He's gonna take his headphones off. He's gonna leave the room, and I'm just gonna be rap for like And he's gonna look. All right, it's been like 13 minutes. She might be tired now. You gonna come back? And another thing,
I just turned on the fan. I grabbed some water. Let's do it.
Oh man. Okay. So like it it definitely, before we even discuss the ending, the ill-fated like last 10 to 15 minutes of it.
Yeah.
Let's just discuss the show in general. Um it was produced by a few people, including Steven Soderbergh, who is one of my favorite directors.
Right.
So it looked beautiful. They did it in a train station called Union Station
There we go.
in downtown LA. That is still an active train station. Now, people don't really ride the train that much, but there are plenty of people in LA who do ride the train.
Right.
And the whole thing leading up to it, they were just like, hey, look, we're still going to, we're still going to have trains. We are an active train station. Nah, that's not really how that went down. Not with all that shit in that area. It looked beautiful, shot from above, all that stuff. Everybody was spread out in these banquets that they put up. And, it just looked kind of like a dinner party of sorts, kind of a grand dinner party in a hotel ballroom. And that's fine. And then they had the outside part, like the parking lot part. They had it set up like the rooftop part of a bar.
Okay.
A lot of low couches. You know what I mean? A lot of bars, a lot of low couches, and cabana type shit. You know what I mean? Just that kind of like, oh, we're at a lounge. We're not at the club. We're at a lounge.
Yeah.
That kind of shit. Which is wild because I'm like, okay, so now I realized this. I learned about this the day after. They sent out a dress code. So, and the dress code was like, hey, be formal. By the way, be formal dress. Don't come all casual and shit. And I was like, who the fuck comes casual to the Oscars?
Yeah.
But I mean, they were like we're trying to bring this back. So be, formal dress and no Zoom, except we're setting ourselves apart from all of the other award shows. So no Zoom acceptances. We will have things set up in different cities all over the world, and you have to get to one of those cities and to be part of the satellite, and that's where we'll beam you in from there. But no Zoom from your house, because it's like, I mean, I guess, but whatever. So keep that in mind for when I get to Anthony Hopkins. Now, so that's the vibe, right? So the pre-show, which was co-hosted by a young woman who was in Hamilton, and that's why I didn't know who she was, but a young black woman who's in Hamilton, and Lil Rel. So that's our pre-show, and I was like, oh wow, this feels black. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, I'll take
Rel the host. Cool, that's wonderful, great, get your money. And a part that was funny was there's a part where Lil Rel is talking to the Lucas brothers. Now, these are all comedians. They all have known each other for a very long time. The Lucas brothers wrote the first version of the screenplay that became Judas and the Black Messiah. So they're talking about being nominated. If you've ever seen the Lucas brothers live, they're a set of twins who are often dressed similar. Not exactly alike, but similar.
Right.
And I was fully surprised to not see them have a hoodie on underneath their tuxedo jackets, right? So they're talking. This is live on ABC, and Lil Rel says something like, oh, man, I remember you guys working on this. I remember seeing y'all at your desk and shit, like working on it. And I was like, oh, this is live. My man. But I guess if you end all your sentences with "and shit," you don't even realize you did that. So I'm like, I guess no one else heard it because it just felt so natural. So I was like, okay, we lit already. It is 6:30 and we lit. So
shouts to Rel. I love that.
I know, shout out to Rel for that. So they go into it, and the vibe, and it starts with Regina King like walking down this corridor into where the show's going to be, and she looked great, and she's striding and she's got this, dress, and I'm like, ooh, the heels. She's got a lot of walking to do, And sure enough, she gets all the way up to the stage and then starts to talk and then starts to trip because then her shoes decide not to work. But it's a great way to start.
Yeah.
It's a very Steven Soderbergh way to start the show. There's no real host, so the presenters are doing these individual little this particular nominee started out folding sweaters at the Gap, and now they're on, like that kind of thing for each nominee. And then they're in the audience kind of as they present instead of being on the stage.
Yeah.
So that if you win, you can walk directly up to the stage and there's already an Oscar sitting on a pedestal for you. They really thought these things out.
Yeah, I actually liked some of that. That was dope.
Yeah, but like the presenters, it's like there are no musical acts because they did that in the pre-show. There are like no clips of the movies at all.
Right.
And there's no orchestra. There's Questlove on the ones and twos.
All right.
And so there's no play them off music.
Okay.
So everyone's being very chill and very like, we are doing this as safely as we can. When we're on commercial breaks, everyone puts their mask back on, but then they take it off as we're rolling. Don't worry, we're Hollywood. We'll get you through this, right?
Okay. Okay.
So it's super chill, but there's no play 'em off music. So that means the acceptance speeches are like 4 minutes long. Which is great from like, the actors or the director or whatever, but it's also kind of weird when it's like from the sound design person, or you know what I mean? It's just like, I didn't even hear what did you win for? Like no one's playing them off. So you're like, damn, how long is this gonna go on? Like everybody's gonna talk for 4 minutes?
I get it. Your mama. That's dope. Yeah, what's up?
Let's keep moving. But everybody's just being so serene and chill. And it really is like, I don't know how to explain the blackness of it, except that it just felt very black. The winners of hair and makeup were two black women, and I think he might have been Latina, a queer man.
Okay.
And that was like the first time.
That's what's up. We out here, baby.
Like it's fantastic. That's fantastic. And like, let's see. So, you got the big winners, your supporting actor and supporting actress. Supporting actor was Daniel Kaluuya, which was really the only thing I was like watching for, just to see what his acceptance speech would be. It was fantastic.
I actually was watching for the hair and makeup. You know what I mean? It might just be you real talk shot. I have yet to have my hair done by a black or brown person at any TV taping. So I'm pro. I love this. They finally. I have had the makeup done by people, by BIPOC folks, but
it is a struggle, and not all people of color know how to do other people of color's makeup.
Yeah,
that's all I will say, because I got caught up in that once where it was like, we're both people of color, right? And I'm like, yes, but you are a different color.
Right.
And you did not bring anything for my color. So everything you're putting on me makes me look wild. Yeah, so if you'll excuse me, I'm going to start again.
I always, like, I don't know what I'm doing. I tell people, like, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know the process, but I know what I'm supposed to look like.
At the end.
At the end, yeah. I don't know what you do and how you do it. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I know my face. I know the finished product is supposed to look a certain way. So I'm gonna give you your freedom to do what you do, but understand I might say nah, and we just gonna start over.
Be okay.
As long as you cool with that, we cool with that. First time I went on TV, somebody tried to make me look like airbrush. Like I was like, yo, I'm too old to not have a blemish. Like I don't know if this was 18-year-old Gastor, sure, but nah. My skin been through things, like,
like it's okay. It's
let's acknowledge that together.
let's just let it go. It's okay. Oh man, yeah, it's that whole thing. But then there's just the whole trying to get people of color into the unions that can work on
Yeah.
the shows and movies is very tough because of the requirements, the hours worked in order to get. You have to work certain hours within the industry in order to get union certification, but then you can't get the jobs because you're not in the like no one. It's so ridiculous. It's like, how do I get a job with no, I just got out of college. How do I get a job with no experience?
You know,
If it's an entry level, like, what do you? It's that kind of bullshit.
Side
so
thought I was be driving trucks soon, baby.
I mean, it's out there for you. Literally, it's out there for you.
Yeah, you saying he won the supporting actor award?
Yeah. Like, the vibe was very chill. It was almost too chill. And then it started to do that thing in the middle where it dragged like every other Oscars. And then we're ramping up to the end, right? So we get to the get to like in memoriam or something like that. And so my roommate and I were watching at this point, which, by the way, my roommate started watching the beginning of it with me, went into his room, watched all of the Mortal Kombat movie, and then came out, Oscar's still on. So,
yo.
Yeah, so that's what we're working with. So we're watching the end. The in memoriam is like just bam, 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 right? Like the music is also the music that Questlove chose was it Always by Stevie Wonder? Yeah, I think so. But a version of that without so much of the beat and more strings behind it.
Yeah.
But I was just like, oh wow, this is hitting me harder than usual because it's Stevie Wonder and not, Sarah McLachlan or whatever. And also I was like, that's kind of an inspired choice, but this song is always upbeat and I'm always dancing to it. So I'm like, now I'm dancing to a montage of dead people. I don't know. I just got to really think those kinds of things through when there's already like a connection. But yeah, so like so they're knocking it out. They still miss some people, which I guess they do every year.
Yeah.
But they ended that segment. They ran through a lot of people, ended that segment with Chadwick Boseman, right?
Okay.
And then they do Best Picture, and it's like, but we haven't done Best Actor or Actress yet.
Yeah.
So I feel I'm like, why are we doing Best Picture? Did I miss the other two? So yeah, it is feeling like, okay, so we're going to do picture and then actress and then actor, and then it's going to be emotional. And then Joaquin Phoenix is just like Anthony Hopkins. And then everyone's like, oh, and then he's like, he couldn't be here with us, so the Academy will accept it on his behalf. And then he just runs backstage, and then Questlove is like, all right, well, good night. It's like, what? What happened? It was wild. So that's why I said, remember the Zoom thing and no Zoom acceptance. Anthony Hopkins wanted to accept via Zoom, or at least pre-tape something. The Oscars wouldn't let him because they were hardcore about the no Zoom thing. And the reason he needed to do it via Zoom is because he's 83 years old. He's the oldest Oscar winner now.
Yeah.
83 years old. He didn't want to risk traveling.
That's valid.
To a place and catching the COVID, just so he could say thank you when he could do that from home.
Hell
so
yeah.
he released a video like the next morning on his Instagram.
That's awesome. All about that is amazing.
Yeah. So it's like, wait a minute. He wanted to like do something via Zoom and y'all wouldn't let him because of your stupid aesthetics.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And also I found out later that they closed down that a lot of the access to that train station from a lot of people who use it every day.
Yeah.
With no warning for a full month. And I was just like, oh Lord.
It's rough. Like, I know like people were criticizing also that like that movie that won Best Picture was like about like a lady being homeless, and they like moved homeless people away from the train station. Like, it was wild. Like there's
Yeah.
some like super backwardness to it there. Like the Anthony Hopkins thing, like I felt terrible about. Like you made that old man download Instagram on his phone. He don't know how to use that. I promise you. I promise you, that's the first time. Like he's heard the words before, but like he's never like, I gotta make a video now. I
Yeah.
told him, like to him, he was like, I told him to make the video yesterday. Why I gotta make another
Why I
video
gotta do it
today?
now? Why couldn't we just done this earlier and then I could sleep in?
That's
Now
it.
y'all got me up early.
You know, like I offered. You know, I was willing to do it.
The
poor
song
man.
I think is As. The song is As.
There you go.
Not Always, but As. Because I was like, I always want to call it Always, but it's actually called As. Anywho,
I just felt terrible for him. I'm like, yo, like I know that old man's like, yo, I'm in my 80s, B. Just let me make my classics and go to sleep. Like I give y'all one movie every 2 years at this point. I don't got energy for more. I don't even want to go to award shows. I've won them trophies. Send it in the mail. Like I'll pick it up when I get a chance. I just want to make cool shit. You know? Okay, y'all need a video? Fine. I'll make a fucking video. Oh, you don't want the video? Cool. I ain't gonna make the video. I'll go to sleep.
Never mind.
You know?
It was just so wild. It was so wild. And also, I was just like, I forgot that Joaquin won for Joker last year. So when he came out, you know, they get last year's winners to present for the next year. And so when he came out, I was just like, oh, I guess they're just getting whomever. And my roommate's like, did he win for that damn Joker movie? I was like, oh, did he? I don't know.
Oh, man.
But the beautiful thing was, and I am absolutely going to mess up her name, but the actress who won supporting was in the movie Minari.
Okay.
Which was made by a Korean filmmaker.
Yeah.
And so, you know, most of the speaking in it was Korean. And she's actually a well-known actress in Korea. So she you know, she's kind of been the sweetheart of the Oscars, like run up. Like she's won other things, and she's very, you know, she's older, so she's just like, I don't give a shit. I'm Korean. I don't give a shit about any of that. I like, this is great, thanks. You know, but she's appreciative, but she's also like, what is this? So Brad Pitt was the one who ended up presenting her with the award.
Yeah.
And so she was just like, oh, I finally get to meet Brad Pitt, you know? And everyone's just like, ooh, yeah, everyone wants to meet Brad Pitt. But it turns out the reason she said that was because Brad Pitt is his production company, Plan B, was a production company for her movie, and they didn't have like the money that it took for her to fly to and from Korea to make the movie. She had to pay for that herself, and he never visited the film set. So she was just kind of like, why weren't you on the set, bruh? Like she asked him that. She was just, because she said, oh, I finally got to meet Brad Pitt.
Hell yeah.
Why weren't you in Tulsa, which is where they filmed?
I love it.
And everyone was spinning it like, oh, look, she's so excited to meet Brad Pitt. But then later she's just like, they kept asking me like how he smelled. And she was like, I'm not a dog. I don't know how to smell. I was like,
have that same energy. I love it.
Yeah.
Why ain't you in Tulsa, my G? You know what I mean?
Hey, maybe next time you put more money behind your movies. That's what she's saying to him as they're taking pictures of the two of them together.
You couldn't even give me coach business class, B? I ain't asking for first, just get me there.
Yo,
I love it.
This is fantastic. So yeah, she was great. She was great.
That's right.
So anywho, of course the ratings were down. They had it like 2 months after they normally would have it. I didn't even remember it was coming on until the day before. And this was a year where I actually watched a lot of the movies nominated. And I still was like, when's the Oscars again? It happened like, you know, a month after all of the other shows.
Yeah.
So yeah, ratings are down. And if you know, like a lot of people didn't see some of the movies, you know, so maybe interest was down, and then the setup was just not what you expected. I mean, I sat there for 3.5 hours and watched it, and I talked shit the entire time about it, and I had the time of my life because I love doing that about award shows. I actually kind of like how chill this is. But and it looks beautiful. But then I learned all the other things of how it was problematic, and I was like, that's a shame. But aren't all of these always problematic?
Yeah.
But I will say the best award show that I've seen so far of these pandemies was the Grammys. The Grammys got it right, I
Yeah,
think.
they nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, next year, Oscars should reach out to Snoop Dogg, have Triller run these things.
Oh wow, do it like a versus, y'all.
Yeah, that'd be fire. Let's go.
Do it like a versus. That's entertainment.
I'm with that. Have all
That's-
5 nominees on stage. Yo, you gotta do your scenes. You know what I mean? You gotta do your scenes over. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. And they've done that kind of thing before. Let's do it. I can't see why not. I'm absolutely here for that. And also, Steven Soderbergh, for some reason you are listening, please know I still love you.
Word up. Oceans is the shit.
I
I'm with it.
go way back with him, but I still love you, bruh. You know, first Magic Mike, magical.
There you go. You know what I mean? I never saw it, but I appreciated the fact that Ladies Night gave me a dick out day. You know, I just got to chill out solo in my house. So yeah, thank you for Magic Mike as well. You know what I mean? Those are 2 nights off. I got part 1, part 2. You know, so yeah, I don't know what you did in those movies, but thank you. My
Lighting
wife
was beautiful.
Yeah.
The beautiful lighting. Honestly, if you bathe anything in an amber golden light,
yeah,
go ahead and swing your dick around if the lighting is good. Normally, I don't want to see that, but the lighting is exquisite. I absolutely will watch it then.
There you go.
Just better lighting in the strip clubs. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man, so if you'd like to continue to support Shalewa and I's ability to see more of Magic Mike, you know what I mean, just please like and subscribe to the show. If you're an Apple listener, give us 4 to 5 star ratings, 5 stars if you want Magic Mike Part 3, 4 if you were satisfied with the first 2.
No way you were satisfied.
And there's no way. Exactly.
5 stars.
Nobody just want 2 Magic Mikes, all right? We all want 3. Let's go. If you have any news articles you'd like us to cover, please submit those in at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte in the DMs. Shout out to Lorenzo G, by the way, who submitted the Louisiana article about the young lady with the bank. With all that said, thank you all for listening. My name is Gastor Almonte, always with the homie Shalewa Sharpe. Catch y'all next week. This has been another War Report. Peace.